Hello. I'm gonna talk pretty quiet because it's pretty echoey where I am, and I want everyone to fully enjoy the audio. I do my best with the audio. I want to say sometimes you hear a breath like I blow, and I try not to. I'll try and keep the mic a little away from my mouth so that the blowing isn't nearly as bad. Sometimes it is the wind, so I apologize. Anyways. Right now, I wanted to talk about the concept of 100% openness. And this is a trait in the Big Five. The Big Five is a theory based around characteristics that form your personality. It's the most accurate personality test in the world currently. And 100% openness to experience means that you're willing to constantly try new things. You're willing to have a bunch of ideas kind of flow to you. I'd say ideas come to me pretty naturally. I have trait 100% openness, so I'm just constantly bouncing off of ideas in my head, and I pretty much never get bored. I'm going to be completely honest. If I'm bored, something's wrong. And I'm thinking about how I like to try new things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I am always open to change. It's interesting how that's the case because I like new ideas. I like concepts. I like to think completely different ways. I love, philosophy and psychology and all these different things that require a lot of openness to ideas, openness to perspectives. I can feel very empathetic towards people who have a different perspective than me. And I was just thinking about how you can be open to ideas and you can be open to change when it comes to changing your perspective. However, change when it comes to like making a change in your life, that is something that I still struggle with. I think all humans do. I mean, when you want to make a major change in your life, there's going to be an initial fear, right? Fear of losing everything. At my point in my life, I'm willing to adapt and change, and I am willing to make big risks. However, I'm at a point in my life where I can afford to take big risks. I don't have a family to take care of, I don't have a wife. I don't have just dependence, and it makes me think all these risks I'm taking right now, they're necessary calculated risks, and that's another reason why it's positive. If it was a stupid risk that it wasn't well thought out, it would be just a terrible idea. And so when you have 100% openness, you have to be ironically open to the idea of stability, and you have to get comfortable with grinding, because I know that my weakest point is I have like 25% conscientiousness in that. And conscientiousness is, your ability to just grit, to work hard, to show up and be consistent with things. And I find that being this high in openness and this low in conscientiousness makes me extremely creative, and it gives me a bunch of ideas. However, implementing those ideas is just like the worst. It can be so hard to have follow through on things. That's why I make short form videos these days, because I find myself having like 3 to 5 projects and not finishing any of them. And so this gives me a sense of productivity, like, oh, I completed a video. There we go. We did something today. And it's just really interesting. I think I lead a very unique life in that sense. And I also look at people that I surround myself with, and they all have very unique lives and perspectives. And I'm not surrounded necessarily by people with the same beliefs as me. And I think that's wonderful. I mean, I'd like to have people in my life who believe the same things as me, but I think it's even cooler to have people with a completely different perspective, and we meld just perfectly. And if you have trait openness 100%, I want to say the best way that you can improve as a person, because I know you love ideas if you're like me, um, focus on follow through. Focus on like writing down a goal, giving it a timeline, and executing, because it's going to be easy to get distracted and you're going to want to focus, and you can be open to different things, but you have to like lock in, you know? Like it's important to like find a subject or a goal and just lock in and execute. And it's very much easier said than done. So, however, I think it could help a lot of creatives, and I think taking breaks is important. However, you just have to have a mid to long-term vision, and you have to just focus on that. You can have some days where you just can't do anything because that's how life goes, but you just have to have something that you're pursuing that is longer term, that could be an art project, it could be a career. I'm just thinking about, or it could be an exercise goal, it could be weight loss, it could be anything, or it could be a goal to read more. However, I just want to say lock in. Like, find something that you're really good at. If you're trait 100% openness, just, it's okay to have a bunch of ideas. Just write a book or something, man. Bottom line, just like write a book, man.